Hello, Facebook fans and YouTube fans of DX Engineering. It is Tuesday afternoon. This is DX Engineering Tuesdays. And today we have a special guest. It's Andy, KC8YST. Hello, Andy. Andy,
Hello.
Andy, how long have you been working for DX Engineering?
Well, I've been with the company for 36 years.
36 years. And how many years with DX?
DX, I have probably been with about 16 of those years.
16 years. Andy, you have talked to thousands of our customers. And what do you come away with? What's the takeaway on how many conversations you've had? And
Well, lately the phones, everyone seemed to have gotten some really nice stuff for Christmas from DX Engineering, and
good.
they're having fun utilizing putting it all to work for them. And yeah, we get questions every day and orders, of course, too. Anywhere from grounding to just basic operating or just some basic knowledge of the amateur radio. Uh, a lot of things out there like mobile that people need help with and mounts and things like that.
You know, Andy, there's still a lot of discussion about shipping issues.
hmm
What do you hear on the street about UPS and FedEx?
Well, the shipping is interesting because we'll have customers, as you probably well know, that say, "Do not ship my package by UPS," because they always mess it up. And the very next call I get is someone saying, "Do not ship my package by FedEx," because they always mess it up. So it's it depends. The feeling I get is depending on your where you live, you have better shipping. One is better FedEx, perhaps the one area than UPS is. If you know which one is best, we can dial it in so that that one is the most likely one that your package will be shipped by. But all in all, I think everybody gets their product in a timely manner. So
What about PO boxes, Andy?
PO boxes are a problem because we need physical addresses. The only time we'll use PO boxes is if you're Puerto Rico, Alaska, Hawaii, then we can use some PO box. We ship by postal then, but most of the time, most of our shipments are not shipped by postal. All the ones in the States are not.
Andy, what about when it says my package should arrive on Friday and it doesn't show up? And then you get a phone call, right?
Usually I'll get a phone call and I'll check the tracking and find out what the holdup is.
Right, right. And what about problems on the front end with credit cards, etc.?
The credit cards, we know if it's approved before we end the call, so that we can take care of quickly, so there won't be any delays if there's a problem with the credit card.
Okay, all
We get
right,
very little problems with the credit cards. The
yeah,
shipping, most of the time, back to that, I find out that it's usually out for delivery. So sometimes people are just, they want to get their package, and I understand it's like Christmas. You want to open those presents. So
and the thing that it comes down to a lot of times is what about replacement parts and things like that, Andy?
we do get some calls on there are certain items that need replacement parts, and we try to right to the manufacturer and have them send out the replacement parts to the customer and as fast as we can.
Right.
Um, so we do the best we can with those, and it happens. There's a lot of parts to some of the items we sell. Something could be missing, and we do try to get the part to the customer as fast as we can.
What about the printed catalog versus the web? Well,
Printed catalog is a nice thing to have because it'll give you an idea of what we have, but we couldn't put everything in a catalog because it would look like a New York City phone book. We couldn't afford to ship the catalog then. So I always recommend you get in the catalog and find what you like, but then go to our website and do the research there because we put on the website all the owner's manuals. We try to, a lot of documentation, a lot of pictures, the tools. There's videos on YouTube we can get you to see how to use the tool, and a lot of good stuff on there. Great information.
So, so what about, I call you up and I'm talking to Andy, KC8YST, and I want to buy a handheld for VHF, UHF. There's so many choices. How do you narrow it down?
Basically, I'd ask you a few questions like, have you just gotten your license or have you had it for a while? And try to narrow it down as if you want just a beginning radio, perhaps one that doesn't have a color screen, does what you want, just to see if you like the hobby, or perhaps you've been in a hobby for a while and you already have that type of radio. We want to get you into one that has a color screen and has more features and more whistles and buzzers on it. So a little qualifying, it helps to kind of figure out what someone wants. I don't like that. There's so many radios. If I present them all to you, you'll just get confused. It's the humada. Yeah, we try to limit it to a few. That's why I can ask some qualifying questions.
So, Andy, tell us about the plaques on the wall behind you.
Those are from the company for 20 years and 30 years, etc. Service with the company. So I've sold everything from Edelbrock manifolds and Holley carburetors to LDG tuners. Not to mention 32 years at Radio Shack. So we sold a lot there too.
So tell us about the 32 years at Radio Shack. What was that like?
It was very interesting because when I first started there was we used to have a company newspaper called the Intercom would come out, and there was a guy that worked for us in the computer area. His name was Bill Gates, and it was just interesting back then to see. I didn't know who Bill Gates back then. It was just a guy who worked at Radio Shack, but now we know who he is. But it was just there was a lot of people that were kind of famous that started out at Radio Shack. It did our computers and other things too. It was interesting to see the cell phone progress like it did. The StarTech and as they got bigger and smaller and vice versa. It's just interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I miss the Radio Shack.
I do too.
It was a really good space and time. Let's go take a look at the chat room here, Andy, and see what we've got. Got
Sure.
Whiskey 6 Bravo Juliet Radio is in there. Our good friend Michael, Whiskey 3 Mike Lima Juliet, is on from near Pittsburgh. And,
awesome.
He's still in high school, but it's good to have him on.
Absolutely.
And we've got Kilo India 5 Quebec Kilo Lima. Phil is on. Alpha Bravo 9 Quebec United. And Happy New Year from Echo Yankee 8 Mike. Nodir is he's got great photos, and he is like, it's the middle of the night over there.
Wow.
In Echo Yankee 8 land. Our amplifier guru, John Stanford, is on. Hello from rainy Southern California. And he's fixing the amplifiers.
Thank you, John.
6 India, absolutely, Andy, because he is really key to. Amplifiers today are really important because the Bouvet D-Expedition is just a week away.
Right.
And
we've been getting calls about the expeditions too, which is interesting. That people do want the amplifiers because sometimes you need an amplifier to get anywhere with something like that.
We got Greg is on. He says you guys are much better than HRO at social media.
Thank you, Greg.
What do you think about that, Andy?
I've never seen HRO on social media, but I appreciate the comment. That is awesome.
And Kevin says, good morning from Auckland, New Zealand. So the sun just came up there, Andy, and Happy New Year to all from Auckland. And that's Zulu Lima 1 Mike Hotel Sierra. Sorbello was on, India Tango 9, India Delta Golf, and our friend Dino from Virginia, Kilo Lima Zero Sierra. And let's see, he's getting his knee replaced, Andy.
Oh,
What do you know about knee replacements?
I have not had that. I don't know much about that, I'm afraid. I I I know there's a lot of rehab afterwards, and that's you got to stick to it, from what I understand.
That's it. And our friend W7 Juliet Echo Tango, who he's a pilot
Hmm.
working for one of the big carriers. He says that I've never had a bad experience with DX Engineering. Shipping has always been prompt. Everything is packaged well, and I'm expecting a package on Thursday from DX Engineering. Andy, what do you know about packaging?
I know that our packaging department goes to great lengths to ensure that everything is packed as well as can be and makes its destination, you know, intact. So they've always done a great job, actually, and it's helped us, and to have less returns because of problems like that. So they do a great job in packaging. The
Yeah.
warehouse in general does a great job picking parts and all that. It's great.
Well, and sometimes we get emails that say, "How come the box was so big and the part was so small?"
Right,
Right?
right.
But at the end of the day, the package got there.
Yeah,
Uh,
for some reason they felt it had to be put in a box that size and wrapped accordingly. Maybe a lot of bubble wrap. It's hard to
right,
say, but
right.
as long as it gets there in one piece, we're happy.
Massimo was on our Fonzie Kilo Fox Zero November Zulu Yankee. What do you think
Awesome.
of that call, Andy?
Wow. So that's
Let's see. We've got Bill Whiskey Six Quebec Radio. Um, when you have call signs in the chat, that's what we key on. Chuck is on K3 Charlie Whiskey Echo, and
hi, Chuck.
Chuck is here in Western Pennsylvania, so that's good. And Warren Whiskey Alpha 4 Bravo Alpha Kilo, and oh, look at this, Andy, it's Mark
Mark,
W8BBQ.
there he is.
You used to sit right beside him.
Right beside him. It's his birthday. Make sure we wish him a happy birthday
Yeah,
today.
happy birthday to W8BBQ. And I mean, Andy, I miss the cubes. I miss seeing you every day.
Yeah, me too. I enjoyed always popping my head in your office saying hello, and it was always fun.
Yeah, and you got to have a lot of laughs with W8BBQ. So
Yes, he and I, we did make it a as fun as we possible. It's work, but it's still you can have a little fun.
right, right. And Drew is on. He says, I have an FT891. I'd like to know, Tim, if you have a replacement speaker for it. Andy, what would you
In
recommend?
Well, we have the external speakers like the DX Engineering when we sell. Uh, we don't sell a replacement, exact replacement. It fits in the radio if that's what he's after. Right? We don't have that. He'd have to go to Yaesu replacement
Right,
parts.
right.
But we certainly have a bunch of pretty nice external speakers. That the DX Engineering one we sell is actually the price. It's a great little speaker.
It's amazing how good
It
that
is.
sounds.
Yeah, I
Um,
think for the money, you can't beat it.
yeah, and we one of our other team members, Kilo 8 Delta Victor, is on, and so he says hello, Tim and Andy from Southwest Ohio. Andy is a great resource to us folks at DX Engineering. Andy has 20 easy steps. What talk about those easy steps?
Oh, it's whatever. Sometimes if we have a problem to fix the problem, sometimes it's just 20 easy steps, which I always say. But we
Well,
could make things simpler, but it's okay. If it's 20 easy steps, that's what it is.
and we're just, I mean, Dave KDV is just such a great guy, and we're so proud to have
Yes,
him on the team and
you bet.
working remote, working from home. You get to work from home, and you're doing amateur radio and getting paid for it. How cool is that, Andy?
I know. It's a dream come true. Absolutely.
It is.
Yeah, it's great. We get so many people now, uh, working from home, and we have a lot of expertise in different things now, which is awesome.
Yeah, in Nevada, we got guys in Nevada, we got guys in Texas.
Hmm. Sure
It's
do.
and lots of guys in Ohio. We got Larry on here. Kilo Bravo Zero Sierra Quebec whiskey. No, Drew is on November 2 Alpha Kilo Juliet. Take a look at the cat, Andy.
I see. I'm sure mine will be. I'm surprised they're not up here on the desk already.
And here's our friend Jeff. Kilo Bravo 8 Zulu Whiskey Tango, also on the DX Engineering sales team, and looking good. He's got a great photo there.
Nice.
Dan is on Whiskey Alpha 4, Mike Oscar Mike. Happy 2023, Tim and Andy. Hope everyone survived the storm. How about those trash 80s at the Radio Shack, Andy? What do you know about that?
Oh, we used to run our store on a trash 80. You bet. I remember the color computers were before that in the TRS 80s, and the line went on. We kept making improvements. I remember the unit had the keyboard and the monitor together, monochromatic. It was just that evolution was interesting too, to watch the whole thing process.
Right, you were right in the middle of it.
It was, yeah, I didn't know it at the time. I remember selling the first CD player that come in. It was $1,000, and it had just played one CD, and I didn't even have a CD to demo because there was no CDs around.
No Deer says he's catching first flight to Echo Tango 3 Alpha Alpha. Wow.
Nice.
Good luck, No Deer, and be safe. And we've got Kilo Echo 9 Sierra Juliet on. And George, Sierra Alpha 7 India Radio Echo says, what is the approximate delivery time to Sweden? What do you think, Andy?
Well, it depends on how it's going to be shipped, but I would think within 7 to 10 days.
7 to 10 going
Depends
to
on
Sweden.
what you order to, of course.
Yep. And we've got from Southern California, Alpha Delta 6 Bravo Lima.
Mojave
And
Desert.
Tom
Nice.
is on November 4 Tango Victor. Our good friend Mike, Kilo Echo 3 Juliet Papa, is on from Greenville, Pennsylvania. Nice to see you, Mike. And
Hello, Mike.
Jeff Tobin, Kilo Charlie 3 November Juliet Echo, who I worked with 40 years ago in broadcasting. So, and Jeff is a great guy. We've got Echo India 2 India Papa is on from Ireland. And Happy New Year to all. And
Happy
Colin is on from Australia, where the sun isn't even up yet, Andy. So they're watching us in the dark. Colin it's Wednesday morning, and our friend from RF Kit, Reinhard, is on.
Mr. Reinhard.
Nice to see you, Reinhard, from Germany. And we'll look forward to seeing you in Orlando.
Oh, yes.
And Chuck says, my first computer was the Sinclair Z80, had the Radio Shack color computer back in the day.
Nice stuff.
And here's Jack, Whiskey Bravo 8, Sierra Charlie Tango, who was the former chairman of Hamvention. So nice to have you on, Jack.
Hi, Jack.
So a good group here, Andy. Andy, it was great spending time with you. Thanks for all you do for DX Engineering.
Thank you. I enjoy it. It's a great thing. A lot of nice people. It's
and
wonderful.
Taking care of the customers. I mean, Andy, that's job one.
Yep, we do. We treat everyone like we'd like to be treated.
That's it. We're all family, and
we are.
So great to have you on here. Thanks for all you do. And
thank you for having me.
And thanks to all the viewers. We're back.
Yes,
it's 2023, and here we go.
New year.
The new year is here, and we'll see you on Thursday for the DX Engineering Manufacturer Showcase. Until then, 73 from DX Engineering.
73.